I know it's been a few weeks since we put out a video. We've had some camera issues. One of our cameras, our main camera, was dropped and we lost some footage. And now there's some recording issues with the shutter opening. So we're trying to get that worked out. But in the meantime, I'm doing all the recording on a small GoPro. So please bear with us while we work through this. So with all the video that I had lost, I'm taking what would have been 2 videos and combining that to make one video. So the house finally made it. Took a little time. The truck spent about an hour and a half stuck in the ditch. From the highway, we have about 4 pretty tight corners, and about on the 3rd corner, the truck went into the side, to the ditch where it's really soft, and took some time getting them out. Actually, Papa had to go up and help them get them dug out so that they could make it to us. But they finally made it. Did take some time, like I said, but after it was unstuck, they decided to unload it onto the road, the house onto the road, and then bring it down the rest of the way on their mule and place it where it was supposed to be, doing that. You know, as you saw in the last video, we weren't able to go with our original plan of using the tall pillars that we wanted, and had to go down and the morning that the concrete was being delivered, cut those down to about 6 inches. So we were on a little bit of a time crunch, but we were able to get it done. So the whole process of getting the house in place and getting it leveled took all day. We were there till well after dark, but the crew that came out and delivered it did an excellent job. So we managed to get all 16 beams that we built under the house and leveled and placed and secured. So we feel pretty confident that the house is not going to be shifting off there anytime soon, but everything looks good so far.
Oops, too far. Oh, it's okay.
Got too much muscle power there, Paul.
Rusty shoved it too hard.
Oh, you drove it. You drove it.
You got it? Ready?
So my recommendation on the foundation is to make sure you have all your questions answered before you decide to start building any kind of foundation. It's very important to know what their capabilities are with the equipment that they have in order to get your shed placed where it needs to be. Otherwise, you know, they could show up and say, you know, we can't do this, and turn around and go back. So. 'Just make sure that you have a solid plan.
Ready? Go.
'Cause make sure that you have all your questions answered before you decide to start building any kind of foundation. It's very important to know what their capabilities are with the equipment that they have in order to get your shed placed where it needs to be. Otherwise, you know, they could show up and say, you know, we can't do this, and turn around and go back. So just make sure that you have a solid plan I originally wanted to frame out the walls before starting the electric, but the lumber order was delayed a week, so we started running electric before we got the lumber, because we have the deadline for the spray foam, so we got to get as much done as possible before they show up to put in the insulation. So the other thing with the electric, before you ever get started, and no matter where you plan to build, make for sure you have a clear understanding about the regulations and electrical code and inspections that you have to have that are required in your area. So when we bought our property, you know, we knew that the area that we were in, we could do all the electrical ourselves, and we didn't have to have any inspections. So after we get the whole shed wired, we'll be ready for service to be hooked up. All we have to do is call the electric company, and they're going to come out and hook service up, and we won't have to have an electrician come and inspect everything. Although we do have a relative that is a licensed electrician in our state, he's going to come over and give it the once over before we actually flip the switch. When it comes to your electric box, here's two things. One, when you start planning your number of circuits you're going to have and how many outlets you're going to have, and you get all that added up and you figure that out, and you say you need a 30 space breaker box or a 40 space breaker box, when you go to buy that box, add 10 spaces to it, because you're probably going to need it. You're going to find things that you didn't think about, or you know, this breaker needs to be bigger, or stuff like that. So make for sure whenever you go buy that you get a big enough box to accommodate your circuits that you're going to have in your house.
The thing was sprinkling everywhere. Then that hole where he drilled, it got all
Can you get out?
filled.
No.
Get out.
My legs and it looked normal.
Get out.
We forgot that it was there, and Graham stepped in it, and I stepped
Where's
in
your
it
other
too.
boot?
Get out, Graham.
He doesn't know where his.
Come here.
I'm throwing mud at you. I'm gonna find you.
I'm right here.
I'm gonna pay for a lot of stuff on your Apple credit card. Dad, stop.